What's going on, everybody? Eric here with driverlineup.com, world's okayest steering wheel holder, as your host, checking in with you guys with another video. I skipped one yesterday. We've been hauling some ass, man. We've been hauling some ass. We got one of my least favorite things, which is happening a lot right now, which was a load that was already late. Already late being, it drives me absolutely batty. Those of you who already drive for Prime, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. When the planners, when they negotiate these loads, determine that X amount of hours is the appropriate amount of time for a team to get a load from point A to point B, or from the 01 to the 90. And then they can't get a truck there on time for that original appointment, so they dispatch a truck to go there much later. So the original appointment for this load we picked up in Idaho was 1700, and we didn't get dispatched on it until 1900, and maybe we got dispatched. No, we got dispatched at maybe 1300, but we were 300 something miles away, and we hadn't even gotten unloaded on the load we were on. So they moved that appointment to midnight. But here's the thing, when they do that, they don't change the appointment on the 90. In other words, the appointment for delivery, they leave that intact. So the time that they have originally determined as the appropriate amount of time for a team to go from pickup to delivery goes out the window, because now you've carved off a huge part of that time and you're not moving the delivery time. And that drives me crazy, because anyway, I'm just ranting. It's not going to change anything. I'm just telling you, man, I know Prime's in a tough spot. Let me try to get you guys some more light. I know Prime's in a tough spot with some of this stuff, but man, that right there, when Jen and I drove together, that's one of the things that absolutely drove me up the freaking wall. When we would just load after load after load get proposed loads that were supposed to be picked up long before we got dispatched on it, and there was no willingness to change the delivery time. So all of a sudden we'd have a load that was supposed to originally have maybe 40 hours, and by the time we get to it, it's only got 30 hours, and you don't even have time to pull over and scratch your butt. So that's kind of how this load, but it's been really good for Captain Dave. It's been good for TNT. He's running back-to-back 600 plus mile shifts. I did 630 last night. He did 607 yesterday. He did 600 today. So it's been good for that aspect, but it's, switching drivers at the fuel pump kind of thing. So it is what it is, but we're delivering this load tonight in Buffalo, New York. And then tomorrow we're picking up a load, going to Texas. So we're hauling some ass right now, really finally munching the miles, and it is cold as shit. Right now we're at the PA-Ohio border, and it is windy and cold. So I'm about to go get a Subway sandwich, and then go try to deliver this load early. But even with our downtime last week, we got caught up in that blizzard. We were down for 3 days. Both my trucks combined are ending up grossing a little over $20,000 this week, combined. So Brad's truck, my second truck, man, he kicked some ass. He kicked some ass this week. So for those who don't know, right now both of my trucks are running full team. Brad, my other driver, is TNT Training River Rich, YouTuber River Rich, and I'm TNT Training Captain Dave. So both my trucks are running full team right now, and even with my 3 days down, Brad I think did around 12,000, and I'm at just over 8,000, even with that downtime. So it's still going to end up being a pretty strong week for both trucks. And now that we've already got this load set up for tomorrow, we're at least my truck is set up very well for the next pay period. Brad should be reloading tomorrow. He should be set up pretty good for the next pay period. So I'm going to be really curious to see if weather cooperates next week and both trucks are running full speed without weather delays or anything like that. I'm going to be really curious to see if we can do 25 to 30,000 gross between the two trucks. So because I've got my third truck coming, which by the way, I'm going to do a video about this, but yes, I've seen a couple questions about because you guys know, some of you know, Success Leasing has temporarily paused the lease purchase program. Did that affect my third truck? No, it did not. My third truck is being built, and I'll have it hopefully in August. So I wasn't planning on ordering a fourth truck this year. I'm really looking to buy a used truck this year as my fourth truck. So hopefully lease purchase comes back by the end of this year. You guys see the truck rocking? That's the wind that's doing that. Fortunately, this load is heavy as hell. This load is 45,000 pounds. We got we can't even fill the tank. That's how heavy we are. We can't fill the tanks. So we ain't going nowhere. But anyway, so my fourth truck was not going to be a brand new lease purchase for this year. So hopefully the lease purchase is back in action by the end of 2022, so that I can go ahead and order my fourth new truck, which hopefully will be my fifth truck for 2023. So it'd be really interesting to see what would happen if I had 3 team trucks running. What does that translate into on the gross revenue side to my business? Because obviously that's not all profit, not by a long stretch, but that is revenue to my business. And I've talked about before, one of my big milestones in total gross revenue via trucks and just projects and different things, one of my big milestones is to generate $1 million in revenue in a year. And so, I'm just kind of watching this and seeing how that, because again, that's still revenue to my business. So to be doing $20,000 a week to my business is pretty damn cool, and I'm trying to establish business credit and things like that. So it really helps when you're talking about 60, 70, 80, $100,000 a month in revenue. I know I'm still a small business in the grand scheme of the the U.S. economy, the global economy, but that's a big deal to me to be generating that much gross revenue. So anyway, I just wanted to give you guys an update and let you know what's up. I know it's chilly in Texas, and I know people say, hey, quit saying it's not so cold in Texas. Man, it's not that cold in Texas, you guys. Not compared to what I've dealt with for the last week and a half. So if I can get 20s and 30s, I'm happy. Like Dave and I, every time we pass through 25 temperatures, we're like, oh, thank God. Thank God. Well, he had to fuel this morning at the Iowa 80 truck stop out there in Iowa, and it was windy and 5 degrees or something like that. Man, it'll freeze your tears. So it'd be good to head south for a few days and see where we go from there. So anyway, Dave, we're, by the way, on his TNT, and he'll probably talk about this too. We are getting back on track. That 3 or 4 days kind of knocked us off a little bit, but we're getting back on track. In fact, on this load we finished in Texas, he'll be on the downward spiral. I mean, we'll be looking at well under 3 weeks to finish off his TNT, and then I can get on to my next training phase. I have one more TNT student to run, and then I'm going to be doing PSD only out of Springfield. So now, does that change the over-the-road content? Not necessarily, because I'm not doing pad only. I'm actually going to be taking freight with PSD students. So I'm not going to be one who just is at the pad every day. I'll be doing a lot of that, and I'll be doing a lot of videos for you guys from the pad in Springfield. But my PSD students are going to get to run some freight. You know, I talked to the training department. It'll be stuff like to St. Louis, Joplin, Russellville, Kansas City, that kind of stuff. And occasionally I may take a PSD student out for, you know, 4 or 5 days, maybe a week. We'll see. We'll play it by ear. I don't want to completely hang the hat and not do OTR anymore, but I've got a baby coming in May, guys, and I want to be with my baby as much as possible. Got a little baby boy coming. So anyway, that's the update, you guys. Thanks so much. Be safe, make good decisions, always drive to thrive. Check in with you guys soon.